Welcome to Vuemax. We're the deep cut. We're the ones who go beyond the story. The ones who dig for the truth. Hollywood makes millions selling you fiction. We spend the hours, dig through the archives, and talk to the people who are really there to bring you what Tinseltown never will. The verified file. Tonight, we're taking on a modern classic, the charming con that made Leonardo DiCaprio a star. But here's the question. Does the truth behind Catch Me If You Can Hold Up to the Hollywood hype? Meet Frank Abagnale Jr., the man sold to the world as the most charming con artist of the 20th century. But the real story, it's pure American myth. Before turning 21, Frank allegedly scammed $2.5 million, posing as a Pan Am pilot, a Georgia pediatrician, and even a Harvard-educated lawyer in Louisiana. And this is where the American audience cheers. The rebel genius. The guy who stuck it to the system. He robbed the banks, the corporations, never the little guy. Right? That myth made Frank a millionaire, a cybersecurity expert, a legend. But here at Vuemax, we don't buy legends. We buy the verified file. And the real Frank Abagnale Jr., according to public records, was far less glamorous and far more disturbing. Let's start with the one thing the movie got right. The mugshot. Yeah, this is Frank at 17. Everything else, a total rewrite. Frank claimed he flew over 1.2 million miles. But records uncovered by investigative journalists tell a different story. Frank's main hustle? Writing bad checks to gas stations and local stores. Turns out, those jet-setting years were actually spent in a New York juvenile facility from age 16 to 20. He wasn't scamming countries. He was serving time for small-time scams. Frank said he practiced medicine in Georgia for a year. But the real doctor, John Kenner, never appears in his book. Public records confirm Frank was living in Georgia in 1965. Not as a doctor, but as a store clerk. And that Harvard lawyer bit? Not even close. Frank spent just a few weeks in Louisiana, got arrested for theft, and left the state on bail. No record of passing the bar, none. And that beloved American myth, the Robin Hood con man who never hurt the little guy, that's the cruelest lie of all. Records show Frank targeted single families, small stores, and local businesses, leaving many of them bankrupt. Here's what journalist Alan C. Logan, the man who spent years digging for the truth, wrote in his book. Frank was just a petty criminal who became a brilliant storyteller. So if most of the movie was fiction, how did the legend survive? Because Frank Abagnale Jr. didn't just sell fake checks. He sold a better story. After prison, he realized the myth was more profitable than the crime. He offered the FBI deal. Let me work for you, or send me back to jail. The movie ends with redemption. Frank working for the FBI. A happy ending. But the Vuemax file tells a different story. A life built on petty scams, later amplified by a best-selling book and a Steven Spielberg blockbuster. The real Frank Abagnale Jr. was a talented, desperate young man. The movie Frank? He's the American dream, the rebel who won. And that's the story we paid for. So, what's the biggest lie Hollywood ever sold you? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're done with the myths and ready for the verified file, subscribe to Vuemax, your home for the truth behind the lens. Vuemax, the truth behind the lens.